is there one type of entrepreneur? Like is there an entrepreneur type in the way that there's a kind of a type for a tennis player, if you like, a kind of a set of characteristics that are associated with professional athletes and particular tennis players? Is there a kind of an entrepreneur type? And turns out there's not. There's six, as you mentioned, Luke, in the intro. So we clustered these using machine learning and a variety of techniques. We used the Hopkins technique to understand whether or not there were natural clusters, because you can cluster any data. It's just how well does it cluster, and is there natural clusters, that are self-evident from the. So we did a variety of tests, and we found that turns out yes, the data does cluster, and yes, the optimum number of clusters is six. And then then we started to look at we looked at the sample, a large sample of people from Crunchbase, about 32,000 people. We picked people that had raised funds and those that hadn't raised, so combinations of levels of success. In this part of the study, we're not looking at success directly. We're just interested in what are the types. And we found by analyzing their personality characteristics, there were these six types, as you mentioned. So
Yep.
we use the acronym FOLD to remember, but it's fighters, observers, designers, leaders, experts, and accomplishers, each of which has different sort of characteristics. But probably for listeners, the most easily understood thing is that these correlate to the well-known sort of idea in the startup world of the hipster, hacker, and hustler, which is sort of this idea, that's been around, that they're the sort of three types of people that you need to start a company. And it turns out that there's one hipster type among these. Um, that's the um, and there's a combination of type. There's a few different types of hackers and
Hackers. Yeah.
hustlers. So yeah,
So tell
yeah.
me then, as you've mentioned, and as we touched on in your bio at the beginning, you not
Mm,
only have an entrepreneurial bent currently, but a strong history of entrepreneurship throughout your career.
mm.
While you were putting this together, surely something jumped out at you and said, "Oh, Paul, this is who you are," or at least, or maybe the
Mm.
worst, I'm none of these things, so maybe I should be an employee.
Yeah, yeah, this is a good question. Like, yeah, I did have thought this myself, and I think that I'm probably the hipster in the. I mean, I'm sort of playing the hustler, but I'm probably the hipster. So I'm sort of like a expert on engineer. I mean, I feel very fortunate to have found data science, rather late in my life. I think that this is really something that I resonate with, and something that is really, exciting to me. And this kind of computational social science research we've been doing in a variety of areas is really aligned, I can tell, with my outlook. So yeah, I unfortunately am one of the types, I think. So probably the hipster slash hustler, and my co-founder is definitely a hacker. So
Hacker,
that's good.
good pairing.